Hey everyone, welcome to the GameOverJesse podcast, where today with me, Ilya, obviously the main dude, GameOverJesse, and Daniel.
I'm Daniel.
Will be talking about things that we didn't like or would like to change from Mario 64. We already talked about what we did like, but to be fair, we're going to talk about what we didn't like and want to change too. Should I just go first, or should I hand it off to someone else?
That was good.
Okay. So, I think everyone probably agrees with this, but the camera was a little difficult to control. And I'm someone that if I can't control the camera, it's very difficult for me. But then again, I mean, in hindsight, there's not much to change for Mario 64. But yeah, that was just difficult for me as a kid. It would always like jolt one way, jolt another, whatever. But
yeah. It's the downside of having it with the C buttons rather than a C stick, where you can't smoothly just hand the camera and move it. You gotta like, just like it's on a track almost, and you just kind of have to crank it to another position. Very jagged feeling.
They should
Weirdly, Ocarina of Time does the camera controls better, even though it's way more limited to what you can do. But maybe that's part of what makes it better. So.
That's actually what I was gonna say. Is that they should have like I don't think they used the L button in Super Mario 64. So if they could have used the Z button for the camera, like instead of using that, because that's what made Mario like duck down. So they could have used the L button to like put the camera right behind his back, because
then you have to like look, you've got it here.
You got Pokemon in the back? No, the Rumble Pack?
It is the card reader.
I love that.
The Game Boy card
we
reader.
Had that.
Were you playing Pokemon?
No, I was gonna sell this.
Okay, because I
don't have Pokemon Stadium to actually use this. But anyways,
I was gonna say, you just said that you didn't like Pokemon Stadium, and then
I no longer have it.
You just happen to have the accessory.
But to press the L button, you gotta move one of your hands. You can either tap it or take your hand right off the control stick, which feels sacrilegious to do. And there's no good way to do this with the L button.
Did R do anything? What did R do? I
feel like it did, but I can't think of what. Someone in the chat, help us!
Yeah.
I don't know. It's honestly been like 10 years since I've played this game. I need to go back and play it, but I don't think we have it.
For me, but definitely been a bit. Yeah, probably been a few years, but I don't know. I can't remember what the R button would do. I don't think it does anything. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything it does.
So it raises his shield, right?
You know, that's something I miss in newer Zelda games, actually. Having, with like Breath of the Wild, your shield button is just the same as L. Or it is L. But that's also your targeting button. So as soon as you target, Link will raise the shield. But in Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess on the GameCube, but not the Wii, it was a separate button to raise the shield, and I kind of miss that. Kind of like the shield being almost an independent function. You have to actually use.
That way it doesn't automatically activate Darunia's shield either, because like sometimes I just want to do a shoot, what's it called when you parry attack, and I'm like, I don't need the shield, I'm gonna be fine, but it has to use his shield, and I'm like, I don't need this right now.
Yeah, it like wastes it.
Or it's a camera, and an extra camera control apparently. That doesn't sound right.
Maybe they thought about this too, and that's why they changed the way the camera works in Zelda.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, Daniel, what is the thing that you hate?
Well, we already covered the camera, but that is the big thing. damn, Jesse, this.
Right.
What do I not like?
Do you want me to go while you think?
You go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
The fact that it takes place entirely in a castle, which, again, they were originally going to do with Zelda. Even the first tech demo that we've seen of Ocarina of Time was Link in the castle fighting the skeleton person. What was it called? The Stalfos. Yeah. So he was fighting the Stalfos in the castle. So the original game was going to be just like Super Mario 64, where it took place entirely in a castle, and then Link could maybe go to different realms and stuff by going through portals or painting-like things, similar to A Link to the Past. Link would go through portals to go to the Dark World. I think he even used a mirror to like stay normal, right? When he went.
You got the Moon Pearl to retain your humanoid form, but
and then the mirror let
was
you
used to go back to the light world.
Yeah, and then the mirror, or a mirror, was reused in Twilight Princess to go to the Twilight Realm. So, anyways, so I feel like in Zelda, whenever they were making Ocarina of Time, they were originally going to do it the same as Mario 64, which is what Nintendo has even said, and then they ended up saying, well, in Mario 64, if we can make this giant elaborate castle and we can make all of these other different worlds that you can go to from the castle, then why can't we just make the world itself and not have the game take place entirely in the castle? Because if you're building worlds outside the castle that you would go to, then I feel that that would have made them think like, well, instead of putting this as like a portal inside the castle, let's just make it its own place over here. So I don't know if I'm describing that correctly, but my head's not working correctly either, so
I got your meaning.
Yeah. So anyways, I wish they would have done that with Super Mario 64, to where it wasn't just the castle, it was the Mushroom Kingdom, similar to how Ocarina of Time had Hyrule Kingdom. And then instead of going to these paintings and jumping through and then like going to each place, you would just have like a big open world like Ocarina of Time, and then there would be like Mushroom Kingdom filled or whatever, and then you could go to the different areas from there. Kind of like in a normal Mario game, it has the map of the world, and then each place is sectioned off, and you don't really do anything as you're going through. Like Mario Cross Rabbids, and then like Super Mario 3D World kind of take that to the next level, to where you can kind of run around on the overworld, but it's not an actual overworld. So I would want to see something more like that. So like Super Mario 64, but instead of taking place entirely in the castle, making it like a giant thing with instead of like jumping through a painting to get to somewhere, you can just walk there. That's how I would have liked it.
That's kind of one of the things I find charming about the game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's what I would have said.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't be sorry.
We're allowed to have opinions that are
Yes.
different.
True.
It's okay, Jesse.
Oh. So, I figured out my thing. Yoshi.
But the DS. And he's on the castle.
He is... My thought, my brain is 100% with the N64 version. Yoshi is only in the game in one spot. Spoilers for anyone who doesn't know this already, for a game that's like 20 years old, more than. Yoshi is only in one spot in the game. He is only on top of Peach's castle, and all he does is give you 1-ups. And Yoshi is the best part of Super Mario World. It could have been so good to have Yoshi usable in that game. And they would later do that with other games, like Sunshine you can ride on Yoshi, Galaxy 2, but not 1. Odyssey kind of glossed over, underutilized Yoshi as well, but that's that's a separate video.
My theory,
But
in Super Mario World, he's constantly like abusing Yoshi.
no.
So
no.
in
don't
Super
listen to
Mario-
what Matt Pat says about that.
So, well, not him, just like the fact that like they confirmed
Yoshi
that he
is
does
the
hit
best
Yoshi
friend.
to do the tongue thing, and then sometimes
No,
people
I
do
deny
the double
this.
jump.
I'm in denial.
So, with
You're in
Super
denial, Daniel.
with Super Mario 64, Yoshi's hiding on top of the castle to be away from Mario. And then when Mario does come, Yoshi bribes him with a mushroom so he doesn't get hurt. So Mario's like a bully, like the video Iliad did for us. The top worst thing Mario's ever done.
Yes. Oh, that was one of my first ones too.
Yeah, you just
It was like my
abused-
third video.
Breaking my heart.
abused the Yoshi.
I remember that.
All right.
Except in Super Mario World, there is a level. The only way to get the secret ending for the level, like the secret exit. So the only way to beat that level with the secret is to sacrifice Yoshi. I think it's one of the bridge levels, if I'm remembering correctly. Because you have to basically go under the goalpost and then jump off Yoshi onto the platform. And there's no way to do it without killing Yoshi, without sacrificing him. And that is the most upsetting part of the game for me. Like I'm ready to give up on life when that happens. It's not fair. It's not fair to Yoshi, man.
It's sad.
We have to sacrifice him into a bottomless pit.
Huh? No, not the Yoshi.
It's not fair.
Uh,
I love Yoshi.
I do too.
Okay.
It would have been really
Give me
cool
more
to
Yoshi.
play as him. What's
When
your
is
next?
my Yoshi game for Switch?
What's your next thing, Ilya? Can you see me pointing at you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I can even come up with a second one. Not partly because it's been a while, and I think partly because the other thing I was gonna say is part of why I like it. I was gonna say, well, it can be a little easy, but I'm like, yeah, but if I play it now, like even when I played it a long time ago, I was like 13 or something. It was even a little easy for me then, but that's not necessarily something I want to change about it. It kind of annoys me now, but I respect it. And it's not like, no offense to Kirby, I love Kirby. It's not Kirby easy, but I don't know. That's the only thing I could come up with, but that's one of the things I like about it too. I don't know.
Okay.
No, I know.
I'll make mine quick too and say Super Mario 64, their original plans for the game, they were going to have it multiplayer, and then they changed it, and then they were going to make multiplayer into the sequel, and then they ended up scrapping that. So
Good point.
Like-
That would have been nice.
the original was supposed to have multiplayer, they canceled it, and then the sequel was supposed to have multiplayer, and they canceled the entire game, and then, but that was because of the disk drive, so they had a reason to. But then they started work on Super Mario Sunshine, so everyone thought Sunshine would have like a big thing on multiplayer because that's what they wanted to do with 64, and then they ended up putting kind of multiplayer with Super Mario 64 DS. So, like pseudo multiplayer. And
They
you
leave
play
the
as like,
multiplayer to their spin-off games.
yeah, like Wario and Yoshi, and if you play as Yoshi, is Yoshi still on the castle? Or is it's Mario on the castle, and then when you go to him, he just hits Yoshi on the head,
No.
and then Yoshi loses a life?
Yikes.
I'm sorry. All right,
No,
Daniel,
it's okay.
it's your turn.
This is gonna sound like a nitpicky nitpick because it's hard to come up with things I don't like about this game.
That says good stuff about it.
That's true. That does speak volumes. There should be a separate water holding your breath meter separate from your health gauge.
Ooh.
Because every other video game ever does this, and it leads to the most both satisfying and quirky and weird, but also from a game design and balancing standpoint, bad exploits in which if you're hurt, all you gotta do is jump in the water and then surface. And the game treats the life bar the same as like an oxygen gauge for holding your breath underwater. So it thinks, oh, he's been holding his breath, so now we're gonna refill it because he's surfaced in the water. And so you can just heal yourself that way. And from a design standpoint, that's not good. That doesn't make any sense. So
yeah,
yes.
Brandon in the chat says it's a redundancy.
Oh, Brandon, do you work in the Department of Redundancy department?
What? I am here, dank moms. I don't understand. Someone says sounds very different than the original. I've been going deep into the narrative of each Zelda game, and it seems the 3D games draw heavily on the male-female symbolism. Oh, he's not even talking about Mario. We're talking about Mario Realms.
Yeah.
Not these guys. They're on their own chat in the chat.
And Mario 64, it's really things that could have been better, nothing really that I don't like. It says RPG. Yeah. Like, the thing is, like, with games that are a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, there's not really anything that bad about them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be 10 out of 10s. So when you do list off things that are bad about those games, it's usually minor nitpicking.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
And that's why we do the best and the worst. So we're not just saying, like, oh, this game's really great. How great is it? It's really great.
Because that's obvious.
Yeah.
It's like, well, duh. Yes, we know that.
Yeah. So I think we are ready for the mailbag, and then we're done.
Okay. Yeah.
So everyone in the chat, get your questions ready, and we will answer them. Daniel, do you want to take the mailbag, the intro?
Oh, sure. Okay. Well.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.